You ever watch a video and just stare at the screen like your brain forgot how to blink? Because here's this 23-year-old holding a burger like it's a victory trophy, casually announcing she's $300,000 in debt, and proudly says she's not paying at all. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Just vibing with $300,000 hanging over her like a piñata filled with IRS letters.
I'm 23 years old and I'm in $300,000 of debt. And no, I don't plan to pay it. It used to really bother me, but I'm done letting it bother me.
Okay, pause. I have so many questions. Like, how is she this calm? Is the burger medicated? Did Sally Mae personally tell her, girl, don't worry about it? Because when I owe someone $20, I'm checking my back like I'm in a mafia movie.
And before anybody says I'm lazy or to get a job, I have a job. I work 40 hours a week. Not to mention I work in healthcare, so I'm also saving lives. If a debt collector calls me, they're getting blocked.
All right, so she's not just in debt, she's in 300K debt, working full-time in healthcare, and still finds time to eat burgers and block debt collectors like it's a part-time job. You got to admit, there's a level of confidence here that's impressive. Not necessarily advisable, but impressive. It's like watching someone walk away from an explosion in slow motion, except the explosion is their credit score.
Because seriously, why would you give that much money to a 23-year-old? It's not my fault. I am literally just a girl.
You know what? I got to be honest. When she said, who gave me $300,000, I'm literally just a girl, I paused the video and whispered to myself, great question, actually.
I'm making this video to help other people in debt feel less alone. It can be really depressing and it can really ruin your life, but it doesn't have to. Money isn't real and it never has been. I don't believe I should pay it back because, well, look at the state of the world right now. If you're in a similar situation, I want you to know that you're not alone.
Let's talk about that. We don't let 23-year-olds rent a car without a fee, but somehow we hand them the equivalent of a small country's GDP and say, don't worry, just pay it off later. And now she's on TikTok, burger in hand, giving solidarity speeches to a growing tribe of six-figure borrowers. And honestly, that part hit different. She's not trying to be a role model. She's just trying to make sure you, the person drowning in silent debt, knows that you're not the only one holding your breath every time Navient calls.
And just because you're in debt doesn't mean your life has to stop. The debt is all in your mind. That's what I'm telling myself, at least. Bye.
And look, I get it. Sometimes you have to mentally disassociate just to stay sane. If you looked that 300K in the face every day, you'd probably turn into stone like a student loan Medusa victim. But here's where it gets complicated. Is it her fault? Not entirely. Because let's be honest, we've built a system that hands 18-year-olds loan packages bigger than some trust funds, with the financial guidance of a Pinterest quote. But also, debt may be in your mind. But unfortunately, so is your anxiety, your credit score, and your inability to rent an apartment later. So no shade, I know she's trying to cope in a way that makes her feel powerful, but denial is not deliverance, and TikTok can't refinance your trauma.
I don't care what anyone says. I don't consider a car loan real debt.
Oh, so we're doing debt denial as a personality trait now? Love that for us. I don't consider my car loan as debt, girl. What do you consider it then? A donation to Ford Motor Company?
There are two things, actually, I don't consider real debt. Car loan and then medical debt. Car loan is pretty obviously. If you live in America, who doesn't pay a car payment every single month? Maybe a few people here and there, but like most people do. So no, I don't consider that real debt. And then medical, technically I have medical debt from the time when I was 21 and I had a panic attack and I went to the ER without having health insurance. Was it stupid of me to do? Yes, but it happened. But I'm not paying $2,000 just because I stepped foot into a hospital. Give me a break. So I don't consider it real.
Then she hits us with the plot twist. She went to the ER without insurance, got slapped with a $2,000 bill and said, "I'm not paying that. I just stepped foot into the hospital." Like, ma'am, what did you think this was? A museum with a suggested donation?
And I haven't paid it. I haven't paid a dime. And little by little, those payments started falling off and they started calling me less and less and less. So yeah, I'm not telling you to not pay your medical debt, but like, maybe don't pay your medical debt.
I get it. American healthcare is built like a scammy subscription model. You blink inside an ER and it's like, thank you for subscribing to Financial Ruin Plus. But let's be honest, just because the bill is dumb doesn't mean it's not real. Calling it not real debt doesn't make it vanish. It's not imaginary. It's not a vibe. It's on your credit report. This isn't Hogwarts. Just because you don't say its name doesn't mean it won't follow
Has
you.
any other millennial just decided that they're not paying off their debt? That there's just no point?
I never once paid a dime of my student loans, and I am more than fine. This country tries to control us with fear and fear of debt. Treat it like it doesn't exist.
So far, we've had car loans that aren't real debt, ER bills that don't count, and debt that lives only in the imagination. But let's zoom out for a second, because all of this isn't just about one girl on TikTok with a burger and a block debt collector. It's part of a much bigger mindset shift happening across Gen Z and even millennials, where the line between rebellion and reality is getting blurry, and financial coping mechanisms are turning into financial philosophies. We are officially in what I call the debt denial era, where instead of financial literacy, we have financial improv. People aren't just avoiding debt, they're rebranding it. It's not a loan, it's an opportunity to build credit. It's not medical debt. It's a one-time trauma bonding experience with a nurse named Karen. It's not being broke. It's soft life in protest. Here's the wild thing. This mindset didn't just come out of nowhere. We're watching an entire generation raised during financial crisis after financial crisis. 2008 recession, student loan explosion, the pandemic, insane rent hikes. And instead of solutions, they got TikTok therapists saying, just breathe through your debt trauma. Now, we've got 20-somethings looking at $100,000 in loans and saying, well, the government might cancel it, so why stress? Or my favorite, I work too hard to stress about money, so I just don't. Here's the thing. It's not that these people are lazy. They're tired. They're disillusioned. And some of them are making emotional decisions in a system that doesn't reward logic anyway. But denial doesn't protect you, just delays the crash. Financial avoidance is like hitting snooze on a fire alarm. Sure, you get a little more peace until the smoke comes through the vents.
I plan to pay off almost £19,000 in credit card debt and leave my family to financial freedom.
Not everyone is out here playing hide and seek with their debt. Some people are figuring it out, one awkward budget spreadsheet and canceled subscription at a time. So let's talk about the flip side. What are the people who are actually getting ahead doing differently? First, they're emotionally detached from spending. They're not buying candles to heal their inner child or convincing themselves that a designer water bottle is a personality trait. They don't confuse a sale for therapy. They treat money like a tool, not a mood swing. Second, and this one hurts, they pay attention to the small stuff. One guy on Reddit saved over $6,000 in 6 months just by canceling 5 apps and packing his lunch. He didn't become a financial guru. He just stopped ignoring the leaks in his boat. But the real game changer, they understand the difference between feeling rich and being rich. That TikTok lifestyle where you treat yourself every weekend, yeah, it comes with credit card interest. The real flex is quiet wealth. It's the guy in sweatpants investing from his couch, not the one in designer shoes flexing an overdrafted checking account. These people aren't living fairy tale lives. Some are teachers. Others are freelancers or baristas. What they have in common is this: They got tired of being broke, more tired than they were afraid of missing out. They realized that I'll save when I make more money is just another lie we tell ourselves. And instead of waiting for the perfect income, they started with the imperfect habits. Because here's the truth. You don't need to earn like a CEO to start acting like one. Here's the wild part. Most people think money is just math. Income minus expenses equals savings, right? Wrong. If money was only math, then everyone with a calculator would be rich. The truth? Money is behavior. It's psychology, it's emotional. That's why people making 150K a year still live paycheck to paycheck, and it's why some quiet janitor dies with a secret $8 million investment portfolio. Morgan Housel, in The Psychology of Money, says it best. Doing well with money has little to do with how smart you are, and a lot to do with how you behave. So when someone says, I work 40 hours, why am I still broke? It might not be about how hard you work. It might be about what you believe, how you react, and the habits you're building or avoiding. Look, the system is messed up. We know that. But waiting for the system to fix itself isn't a strategy. It's a setup. You can't control inflation, student loans, or why avocados are now $7, but you can control what you prioritize, how you spend, and who you listen to. And that starts right now, not when you finally have enough. Because here's the truth, the sooner you stop thinking like a broke person, even if your bank account says otherwise, the sooner things start to shift. Your mindset is the first currency that needs a raise. So yeah, maybe you don't need to unfollow your debt. Maybe you just need to finances.